Is the correct formula for copper 1 sulfide? First of all, we have to figure out whether this compound is ionic or covalent. So we have to identify whether copper and sulfur are metals or nonmetals. Covalent compounds, they have two nonmetals in them, and then ionic nonmetals. And then ionic can have a metal and a nonmetal, which is the most popular case, as well as metal and polyatomic ion, two polyatomic ions, or polyatomic ion and a nonmetal. Now we have copper and sulfur. So let's go ahead and look at the periodic table to see whether these are metals or nonmetals. Now in our periodic table, if you look, there is a staircase, which is basically here. Goes right here. These are like on the staircase. All of these elements, they're on the staircase. And the staircase is what separates metals from nonmetals. So these are metals and these are nonmetals. So we had, if you look at the name, we have copper. So if you look at copper, copper is Cu, and we can see that it is a metal, therefore it has to be ionic. Moreover, it's a transition metal, and that is why in parentheses we have this Roman numeral 1, which basically represents the oxidation number or the charge of our element. How do we write the correct formula for an ionic compound? So first I'm going to give you an example. Let's say I have two elements, a metal and a nonmetal for the ionic compound, and I have certain charges. Let's say my charges here is 3 plus and 2 minus, for example. What you're going to do is you will simply take these charges and you will cross multiply. You will give them to the partner without the sign, and you will get A2, and then your B will be 3. So A got 2 because B had the 2 minus charge, and B got a 3 because A had a 3 plus charge. Now let's go to copper sulfide. So we will identify the elements. Copper is Cu, sulfide, ide means, and sulfide means that we have sulfur. Next, what are the charges? For copper, the charge is already given to us. If you see a Roman numeral, that's the charge of your metal. So I'm going to put 1 plus here. What about sulfur? So if you look at the periodic table, we see sulfur is in group 16. Now I'm going to tell you group 1 is plus 1, group 2 is plus 2, group 17 is minus 1, and group 16 will be minus 2 charges. So because sulfur is in this group, it will have a charge of minus 2, or the oxidation number of minus 2. Now, how do we figure out the correct formula? We just take these numbers, which is 1 and 2, and we cross multiply them. So what do we get? Copper will now have 2 next to it, and sulfur will have 1, which we do not have to write. Let's look at the answer options to see which one is correct. Cu2S is what I got. So B must be the correct answer for this question. This is Maya from Transformation Tutoring. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in more of my organic chemistry and general chemistry videos.